Okay.
Mr. Chair, if Mr. Galani comes on as we get started, we'll certainly promote him.
Definitely. Good evening. Welcome to the meeting of the city's Development and Zoning Review Committee. The purpose of this meeting is to provide this party an opportunity to informally introduce the concept of a proposed development to certain key city decision makers and to allow them to ask questions and provide comments. No decisions or recommendations on the proposed development will be made by this committee. Any proposals for development you hear or see today are in a very early conceptual stage of planning without the city's departments of planning and public works having had the opportunity to review them. Accordingly, discussion of specific details of any proposed development at this time is premature, as they are subject to change prior to the formal submission process. In light of the informal and preliminary nature of the presentation today, the public has been invited to attend via the Zoom webinar platform or streaming live on YouTube and learn about concepts associated with this proposed development in your city, but public comment will not be offered at this time. Any person interested in commenting on the proposal discussed today is encouraged to contact their elected representatives and also take advantage of the numerous opportunities to speak before the Planning and Zoning Commission and the City Council when, if such occurs, the development is formally submitted for the city's consideration. Can I get a roll call of commission members, please?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Garitano,
Present.
Councilmember Galani, Councilmember Brost,
Here.
Mayor Boland,
Here.
and Chair Beatty.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Does the department have any opening comments?
Yes, Mr. Chair, and thank you. As is the practice of the department, it has provided you a packet of information relative to this particular request. In that packet, we have two aerial photographs of different scales, one a larger one so you can see more of the general surroundings regarding the location of the property, and then one that's a little bit of a smaller scale that gives you a better representation of the property and its characteristics. The second is a sketch plan provided by the applicant, and that sketch plan tonight is for 9 lots on this particular 3-acre site. The lots are served by a single cul-de-sac street, and they have about 85-foot lot widths or frontages. Along with that information, the applicant has also provided some home renderings of potential options that they'd like to share with the committee members. And there are 3 different types for consideration tonight. Finally, out of the town center plan, the department has provided you the regulating plan of town center, which indicates this particular 3-acre parcel of ground is both neighborhood general and neighborhood edge districts. It's split approximately. We have provided the chart of permitted uses, which indicates in the neighborhood general and the neighborhood edge, single-family detached dwellings on individual lots are permitted. And then finally, the design criteria for both of those districts. Finally, I would note this is the second proposal the committee has been asked to review on this site. And so tonight, you're kind of seeing the same site with a different proposal. If there are any questions of the committee members, Mr. Newberry, Ms. Ripito, or I are available to answer them. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Vunich. Would the petitioner like to speak about your plan?
Travis, are you going to show the drawings?
Kumar, I think he's bringing it up on the screen now. Thank you.
Oh, okay, sure.
To the attendees, Mr. Dewberry's computer just locked up, so Melanie and I are going to try to get the packet up so we can do a share screen. Just give us a second if you don't mind.
Okay. How's everyone doing tonight while we're waiting?
Great.
Good. If everything, I do have it up on my other screen. If they can't, if everything's in the agenda. Oh, there we go.
There
Okay.
you go. Okay, so this is a sketch that I had developed on the Etherton Road. The 3-acre lot is on the east side of Etherton Road. And I'm creating like 9 lots. Each lot is about 11,500 square feet, approximately, give and take. And then there's a common ground on the southeast corner of the lot. That'll have the detention basin for the stormwater. And all these lots, I was told we can do R3 or R4. And so all the setbacks are all shown there. So the buildable area is like 65 by 80 in each of those lots. And we are proposing either ranch style or a 2-story, 2,000 square feet or 3,000 square feet, depending upon the owners. And I've given some plan what we are proposing to use. And we made sure it's all 2-car garage. You know, I attended the previous meeting also when the other person was trying to build attached homes, and heard all your comments about having to have minimum 2-car garage, and the front of the house being further from the garage. So those criteria has been met with the drawings that I'm proposing to use. Other than that, is there any other specific questions that you guys have I would like to answer?
Mayor Bullen?
Just 2 things, really just informational. Well, one informational question and then a comment. Could we see the aerial? We have lots of Etherton roads, it seems. So could we see an aerial that shows the exact location of where this is being proposed?
Yeah, this Etherton Road is between Old Manchester and 100.
I think the mayor is referring to where exactly on Etherton Road it is.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I see. Then just a comment, and please don't be, first of all, thank you for your interest in our city, and please don't be offended by this comment. I noticed one of the elevations was called a honeysuckle. We actually, that's a, we try to eradicate honeysuckle as much as we can in Wildwood. So if it's possible to alter the name for that one, you may want to consider it, but not a sword I would die on. But from a marketing perspective, I think you might sell it for a higher price if you change.
Okay. No. This is canned drawings that you can go online, and that's the name that they had assigned. I mean, it's not something I assigned.
I was thinking the same thing, Mayor.
I thought you might be.
Yeah.
So.
As
much of that as I've cut down at Bluffview. Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
We can change that. No.
But I like the style of the house other than that.
Right. Okay. I mean, I try to accommodate. I have gone through a lot of these meetings and see what your comments are and try to be proactive and address those issues before we submit.
We definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, that's the reason I did my homework, and I think it should be fine. And I got home buyers already lined up, and so it will definitely go smoothly once we get this, once we buy the land.
Mr. Mayor, this is Joe. Were the aerial photos sufficient?
Looks like he must have had to take a call or something.
Okay.
Councilman Brost?
Yeah, I would just like to say, I mean, I like the look of it. I don't recall the density of the last proposal. Mr. Vunich, what was the density of the last one?
My recollection, Mr. Bros, was that it was in that range of 5 to 6 units per acre. This is approximately about 3 to 3.5 units per acre once you subtract out the required right-of-way on the site.
Okay, yeah, it seemed like it was quite a bit less. I mean, I think the look is good. I mean, I don't see an issue with it. So I just throw that out. So thank you.
Mayor Bolin? You're muted.
I agree with what Commissioner Brost just said. I don't see any reason why this wouldn't be a great addition to the city. And again, thank you for your interest in it. So I don't really have any negative comments at all. So,
all right. Councilman Garritano?
Yeah, thanks for the presentation today. And I do appreciate taking the feedback from the last proposal for this site into consideration. So you mentioned that ranches are possible home that could be developed there. And I do want to emphasize that that is a housing need that we have in this city. We just don't have enough choices when it comes to a ranch style home. So I'm very pleased to see that you have that there. The other thing that I want to mention about this proposal is in hearing that you said that the square footage of the lot is roughly about 11,500. That's actually even bigger than some of the average lot sizes that you see in subdivisions. I mean, I've seen some subdivisions, like when you look at even in like the Villages and other areas, like the Cherry Hills area, those lot sizes are usually around 0.21 acres. So what you're proposing is 0.264 acres, which is good to hear. So I give you that feedback there. And that correlates to exactly what we just mentioned, comparing it to the previous proposal. So I do like the fact that, you're going in the right direction there. It is more of a traditional proposal. You took into account the number of garage units there. So assuming, again, that will be the department when they prepare their report as to how this fits into the land use. I think right now, that's really all I have to say at this point.
All right. Thank you, Councilman Garetano. Yeah, I mean, I also think the plan looks good for the most part. My only comment is, I realize to the east is a more established large lot subdivision. I think I've heard there's possible some of those homeowners are maybe possibly open to redevelopment in the future. And so if there would be a way to leave the end of the street available for a possible extension, I would prefer to see that, just because as a town center resident, I moved here because I like the more of a grid network rather than cul-de-sacs, and I hope we can continue to see that as the more eastern edge of the town center gets developed or redeveloped. But that's my only comment. Other than that, I think this is just fine.
You're saying to the east of this property instead of the cul-de-sac, leave it open so the road can continue on?
Potentially, yeah.
Okay.
I've just seen a lot of these proposals that have come through lately are filled with cul-de-sacs, and I thought it said in our town center plan that we should be building blocks rather than cul-de-sacs.
Well, the reason for the cul-de-sac is a requirement from the fire department that the fire trucks have to be able to turn around.
Yeah, I'm not saying you can't have the circle there, but if you can just create something at the end to where the street could be extended at some point in the future if development warrants.
And Mr. Chair,
Mhm.
there's a way to do both. We can create a stub street if the city council should choose to via the recommendation of the commission, and we can provide a temporary turnaround as part of the common ground area that could be removed when the extension comes to fruition.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? All right. Well,
I would move to adjourn.
all right. Motion by the mayor. Is there a second? Seconded by Councilman Brost. All right. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right. We are adjourned. Thank you.
Okay, thank
you
you.
all.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Good luck.